Ghana.
Prophecy music, Lord.
Adeshemaye nyo Somafo Yawoh.
Yes, Uncle Somafo Yawoh.
Yes, now.
Amen. And Africa Franca, I was so young, I was much more free about a man, but over the man, why you know somebody.
Odenedama, chinje kote. Obeye dama, we wuwa kojenimu. Nyame Somafo Yawoh. If I supi odaba. Nasam abiti biase ne wasama no bieka awoji fuya if asupi odaba nasam abiti biase ne wasama no bieka Circle east west south and north epoya etifin akoya nanafo obia renyiwa odrin sasa yareba chira Nyame Somafo Yawoh. Nyame Somafo Yawoh. Oda senyi biare miwa. Oda kasa tutesu sumufiate. Nyame Somafo Yawoh. Nyame Somafo Yawoh. Sebene nemswa nebeta wanwasam. Isama kesa we hinto nipa. Osru munsam. Asasidu hasam. Asase nasi asam. Kuna bukunum so asam. Aha. Oh my Ghana, yenyade. Adeshe my Ghana, yetu. Yamene my basa. Israel, Misri na Assyria we na sing. Wasuma ojefo. Aha. Oh my Ghana, yenyade. Adeshe my Ghana, yetu. Yamene my basa. Israel Mecca na Ghana wo be na sing. Wasuma ojefo. Yamene my basa. Israel Misri na Assyria. Wasuma ojefo. Yamene my basa. Israel Mecca na Ghana. Wasuma ojefo.
Jacob has some more kind, Genesis has some more kind, my woman, no, Isaiah has some more kind, my dear son, kind, Isaiah, my woman, no, Malachi has some more kind, Elijah bow by, and I am for we are singing, Ezekiel has some more kind,
Prophecy music, Israel, Misri na Assyria wo we na sing. Wasuma ojefo. Aha. Oh my Ghana, yenyade. Adeshe my Ghana, yetu. Yamene my basa. Israel Mecca na Ghana wo we na sing. Wasuma ojefo. Yamene my basa. Israel Misri na Assyria. Wasuma ojefo. Yamene my basa. Israel Mecca na Ghana. Wasuma ojefo.
Let me, on behalf of the Right Honorable Speaker, welcome you to your own home, the House of Representation, Accountability and Democracy. That's the Parliament of Ghana. Right Honorable Speaker, this afternoon we are delighted and privileged to have a delegation led by the founder of Asomdue and Tom, the coming all the way from the central region, to pay a courtesy call on you. Respectfully, without saying much, may I kindly and also introduce and acknowledge the Member of Parliament and also staff of the Parliamentary Service who have joined the Right Honourable Speaker in welcoming you this afternoon. Nanano Emamakwaba. Right Honourable Speaker, we have here this afternoon the Committee Chair on Youth and Sports, Honourable Ernest Nogwe. He's here with us. You are welcome, sir. We also have Ambassador Magnusson. He is the Advisor on International Relations and Diplomacy, Office of the Speaker. We have Mr. Charles Derry, Director in Charge, Parliamentary Relations and Protocol, Parliamentary Service. We have Mrs. Ajua Boku, also a clerk to the Youth and Sports Committee. The Director, Media Relations, Lawyer Sebastian David Damwa. Then the Director for the Parliamentary Broadcasting. I don't know if you have been following us. Parliament now has a TV station. And so the Director who is actually championing and ensuring that we operationalize this TV station is here with us, Madam Hilda Asante. Madam, you're also welcome. And also a host of us, I am Superintendent Retired Efia Tenge, the Director for the Public Engagement Department. Of course, I have not done the needful in also introducing to us the very person of which we are here this afternoon. I would also want to introduce you as a lawyer, a career and a seasoned legislator whose career began far back since 1993 and as long and as old as this Fourth Republic and still counting. He is a statesman of both national and international repute. He is rather making a lot of profound impact in the world when it comes to parliamentary democracy. Distinguished ladies and guests, it is my pleasure to introduce to us the longest serving Member of Parliament and leader of the 8th and the 9th Parliament, the Right Honourable Alban Kingsford Bagbin. Sir, you are welcome. Thank you very much. Respectfully, just as I have also done, let me once again also welcome you. Then kindly, I may ask whoever the spokesperson is to also help us with maybe just because you are many, just a few of us introducing yourselves to us. Thank you very much, after which we shall take it from there. Thank you. You are welcome.
It has been a privilege for us also to be here in this august house in the presence of our Right Honourable Speaker and his entourage. As you rightly introduce the protocol to us, I will base on such protocol to also introduce a few of us to the house. Please, right beside me on my left with the black, let me say, veil, he is the leader and founder of the Asumje Tontonsum, by name Ɔkrɔnkrɔnyi Nyame Somafo Yawoh. The name is an Akan name, but if we take it into our English version, it's going to be the messenger of God, Yawoh. Then I, who is speaking, I only interpret his message because he will speak in the local Fanti. So I am interpreting that into English. We have our chiefs who are also members of the religion, who would have also followed him for this courtesy call. Then right behind him is the, let me say, the lady of the house, our mama of the house. She is the Mrs. of Ɔkrɔnkrɔnyi Nyame Somafo. All who are here, far end, the lady in the white veil, to the next gentleman in the African way. Lady is by name Marian Esel. She is a daughter of Ɔkrɔnkrɔnyi Nyame Somafo. And then Kofi Esel followed, also a son of Ɔkrɔnkrɔnyi Nyame Somafo. The rest of us, we are all members of the religion. Thank you. Ɔkrɔnkrɔnyi Nyame Somafo, like I said in English, he is a messenger of God. He announced to us that God have sent him and that is guiding us onto the right path to worship the Most High. Then again, he has a mission for the entire nation, since he has been sent by God. And therefore, you can't have such a mission and stay in your corner without announcing it to a lot of people in the nation. And where would it start? And therefore, today has been a privilege to visit this Right Honorable Speaker as a courtesy call to give some few donations, and then also to announce the message that has been sent through him by the Most High to humanity. And so this is our purpose of visit.
Any Ghanaian living anywhere, this is his house. If anybody is chasing you anywhere and you run into this house, you can't be arrested. That is the power of the house. People still don't know it. But what they call your rights, your privileges, your entitlements, and all those things, is the duty of this house to protect it, defend it, and enhance it for all of you. So it's right that our Father, the messenger of God, has come to his house. And with all of you being members of his church, you are here to tell me the full name of the church. I only see it as Asunjwe Tonton Sun. But I think there will be another name. There will be another name. Because I haven't heard this church in my rounds. I mean, too, I've been to places since the time that you were Western Province. Were you not called Western Province?
The West Region.
Now you are called
Central Region.
Central Region.
Yes.
You are part of the Western Province, which includes Eastern and Western region and portion of the Central region. That was called Western Province. And then we also had the Eastern Province, which was from part of the Eastern region to Oti, part cut off to Ho, down to Keta. And so Greater Accra and part of the current Central region put together were called what? The Central, because we have the Western and the Eastern, and the middle is Central. That's how you started. So I know all this since that time. But this church, I've not been part of it. So I'm wondering why you have not been able to convince me to be part of this church. Today, I'm sure you have a message that will convince not just me, but Ghanaians that this is the right church to belong to. So I want to hear more about the church. That's one. The second is that the founder and leader, the name, I think I heard this word in one of the musicians, some ladies, glorious, daughters of glorious Jesus. They have some song that uses the name like this one, Ɔkrɔnkrɔnyi, in the song. I think I'm not bad in music. And so when I received the letter, and the letter was so full of good news, but I said, hey, where's this coming from? Then I realized that it's coming from my father, Asunjwe Hine's place, the late President of the Republic of Ghana, who lectured me in Legon. He taught all of us law, Professor J.E.A. Mills. So I saw some connection of it. So I took particular interest to read it. And many of you don't know the contents of this letter. That's why I want you to know. They are bringing so fantastic news that I've never received here. It's not just to pay a courtesy call, but to make a special presentation, a citation, and 60 footballs. I said, wow. Not even GFA has come to present footballs to us. But I'm one of the stars. I love football, and you recall recently we have what we call Democracy Cup. I used to be in the Parliament football team. Because I'm getting younger, I'm no longer in the team. Oh, why, young man, you don't agree that I'm getting younger? He's laughing at me. And because I'm getting younger, I'm no longer in the team. So when I saw this, I said, wow, that's very good. So today, in spite of all what I was going through, I think my staff were surprised that I insisted that I must come to office. If not, I would have been at home. Because the whole of the night, I couldn't sleep. I was thinking of Mother Ghana and how we could break the jinx in the country to get this country developed. We have so many people that are not serious. So when you give them work, they don't focus in doing what is right. And we have accepted to accept what is wrong. And so they use terms like, it's politically incorrect. When you are saying what is right, direct to somebody, the truth, and they say, no. It's not correct. Don't do it that way. They want to do it the wrong way and garnish it with pepper and salt, and then, so it will be appetizing. And by doing that, we lose a lot of things. So when I read through the letter, it used some words that I was so happy because some Ghanaians, senior Ghanaians, have really recognized the might of Parliament. And I want to read that paragraph for you to see here. It says, I very respectfully pray for the privilege of paying a courtesy call on you at your convenience to present you with a citation on the colossus of Ghana's Parliament and donate a set of 60 footballs for your leisure. To use the word colossus means that people realize the might of Parliament. And then where it all began, Parliament began, which is the United Kingdom, as far back as 1215. They say the only thing that Parliament could not do was to turn a woman into a man and vice versa. That is those days. But today, you know that a woman can be turned into a man, and a man can be turned into a woman, which meant that Parliament can do everything. But we are not God, because it's only God which can do everything. And I learned it in secondary school from my tutor who was from Elmina. And I don't know where you learned it, but you all can recall it. God can do everything today. He can destroy everything, can rebuild everything, everything, everything. God can do everything today. It's only Parliament of Ghana. We can't do everything. It's only God. But that recognition is something that should tell Ghanaians that if Parliament is properly positioned, we can do a lot for the country. So I felt so happy that one of our elders who have been so blessed by God to be a founder and leader of a church has seen this in Parliament and is coming to assist us preach this gospel to Ghanaians. So on behalf of Parliament again, I want to warmly welcome you. Not just for the citation and the football, but I want you to give us a message on this matter. And I want to plead with our media partners to do all it can to send this message to all Ghanaians. We need it. We need to bond together, and we need to focus on attacking the enemy, the common enemy, not each other. We are brought to God by God together to live peacefully. To live peacefully, enjoy the bounty of the earth, and go back to God. But there are some enemies that are unleashed on us. And we should be fighting those enemies, but we are not fighting ourselves. I hope your message will touch on it, and then we can pass it on to fellow Ghanaians so that we can stop what is happening now, have a peaceful country, focus and work together, and get to the promised land in good time. Or else by the time we get there, we are late. Some people will be there. And we want to be there first. So I welcome you again.
Yeah, church. Oh, yeah. Awesome.
Ɔkrɔnkrɔnyi Nyame Somafo said, firstly, it is not a church, and that is a religion. A religion in other contexts will say a way of life. And so this is a way of life.
Now, Martini, may I understand? Now, I may be that I may have put on Osman and Wimper or a man with ye, not an impact one more time. I'm company or may Bassa. Oh, yeah, Israel, Mecca, Nagana. The man of the young man. Now, oh, yes, share the other soon beginner or may a Bassamu. Or mere Massanum, soon the Yassapina, Babum, or still no way, ma. Yassapina room, some way I know my call without chance of water. A man Israel, Mecca, Nagana, the Mecca. What you can say, Israel, now Moses don't. The chain of Cassia say, Mecca, Arabia, Nam Conshi Mohammed, a nation not to Canada. The memory appeared to Ghana Kosovo. Appeared to Ghana Kosovo. And say, Osman, I upon the business, on my only as we get to Thomas. And say, oh, yeah, religion, some of Israel, some of Mecca.
So Ɔkrɔnkrɔnyi Nyame Somafo have just said that firstly, he is a messenger of God, and that every nation that received the messenger of God, the nation is prepared specially by the Most High God due to the messengers that have been sent to them. He explained to us and mentioned that the Most High God have appointed 3 nations for himself, and that is Israel, Saudi Arabia, that is Mecca, and Ghana. And that he has made that he's sending his heavenly religion into these 3 nations, or his way of life into these 3 nations. And the way of life that are placed in the three nations are the way of life that humanity ought to follow or practice before they attain salvation. And therefore, he explained that it's just like Noah's Ark, that this way of life in these three nations is meant for all humanity to practice them before they get to the Most High God. He explained that the three nations are Israel, Mecca, as he has mentioned, and today's Ghana. So Ɔkrɔnkrɔnyi Nyame Somafo said, the Most High God, preparing this nation, have sent Moses to the land of Israel, which he used that way of life through Moses to prepare them. Same way he has sent to Mecca as well, and it is now the turn of the people of Ghana.
Na ɔsono de maka wasa. Ada ojo ɔsono do. Oni Yankopɔn ni fie ɔtɔ ne ebasa. The third temple of God. Na nkwanhyɛ nda wɔde dada. Yankopɔn ni fie ɔtɔ ne ebasa baba. And so more the kind of Mecca. What they been over Israel, Jerusalem. And more about some Namadaba. And say, Ebe, a complete Utama about that. So,
Ɔkrɔnkrɔnyi Nyame Somafo said he mentioned the religion or the way of life that has been introduced to the people of Ghana that is called Asumdwe Ntontonsum. And that what God used to dwell on his way of life or his religion is his holy temple. So the Most High God have sent his holy temple unto the earth, which were in the prophecies long ago. So he said the first house of God that came onto the earth is the one that arrived in Mecca. Then the second one is the one that came to Israel in Jerusalem. So the third house of God or the third temple of God is the one that has come now in the nation Ghana. And it is this that becomes the bedrock of the way of life that has come now. You mentioned that when you come to or you visit a Pumfio tomb, you see this house of God built there.
now since I know more about Wasa, Dami Yankopɔn ni fie. Ɔno Magana operator paper.
So the reason he's talking about this is because this house of God or the third temple of the Most High God, it is this that will help Ghana to take our good clothing and put them on again.
Osanda, or the script you about man.
Because this will bring a lot of finances or money into the nation.
Na Damo Gay or Baya Yankopɔn ni fie, another Akwansabia, Oya Kasisi, Yasi, Ebera.
And this place will be the biggest tourist center, which will be the bigger among all in the world.
Ɔkò wo do no sika bani. Ɔbɔ akɔ dem wɔ na maka na pepe wɔ na ha. Nti bi bodu a ɔnam da mahyehyɛ ne ti. Ghana be sika ɔda yɔ ma ne yɛ.
So the means by which he says that Ghana will receive a lot of money from this is that when people come to visit this holy temple, they have to give a free will offering, like they do at Mecca. And so, based on this, it will get to a time that the nation Ghana will have a lot of money to undergo their project or developmental projects.
Nkwa nhyɛ no mu Yankopɔn ka dɛ. Yankopɔn fie a ɔtɔ dɛ ebaase baba na amama bɛbɔ ho. Amama biase amama na bɛbɔ ho. Nti obi arbo de sika ba. Amasa wo ba akɔ nsana. Nti ɔnam dɛm nti people do as worker amaya always ka wo bɔ gana de ka.
Mention that it is said in the prophecies that the third house of God will be established, of which all nations will flow to it or will come to it. And so when they come, as he has mentioned, there is going to be a free will offering or a money which is to be paid. And this money is what will cause the nation Ghana to receive a lot of finances, of which it will come to a time when they are calling richest nations in the world, Ghana will be mentioned as part of them.
Yankopɔn na asɛm ɔsɛ Ghana bɛ yɛ din asɛ wiase kuro bi ade din. Ɔnam temple no.
So these are the words of the Most High God, that Ghana would have fame and have name that will supersede all nations, and that will happen due to the holy temple that has been built.
Na nhyehyɛ wɔ ho ni abɔso Yankopɔn si. Sɛ wɔyɛ apɛhyɛ na sika bɛnyɛ biara kɛmɛ bi no ba ɔpa 50% pam ɔman no.
These are the principles that the Most High God has spelled to him, that anytime a festival is organized, Whatever proceed that comes should be divided into two. Half should be given to the nation. And this will cause the nation to have a lot of money due to the temple.
Happy the more young people if you honor Obama man adukra.
It is this holy temple that will bring peace into the nation. Everyone is aware that things.
I'm not young people and mine or the winner as we are to. Them is I say, don't make it, don't pay no house here.
Mention that everyone is aware that things are not moving on well in the nation. It is not for him to come and announce that to us. But yet, he said, with the Most High God, his nation, they're supposed to have peace in the nation. Like the way Mecca and Israel is, the same thing Ghana should also be experiencing.
Now, by the other, I mean, as soon as you walk your mind, as soon as you what's wrong.
How do we gain that? He said, it is evil powers that are troubling the nation. The nation is being attacked by evil powers.
What's it? Our ideas, what might be better? What my year? They will not hear you. I hear you by the
Said you claim to have the ideas that you can establish a lot, but when you establish them, you realize that they will not be fruitful. They will not end well.
I'm found no one better. Women be better than do. What do I hear? No more say yeah. Then a baby.
Mention that it doesn't matter the academic qualification you have, the knowledge you have, you can establish. But yet, if it doesn't end well, if it doesn't go well, what will you do about it?
Yes, Master. Now, I was saying, I'm honor this, Master.
These are hidden issues, and it is the Most High who revealed the hidden issues to humanity.
Be better one man will be better. Was inside through 70%.
So whatever that exists in the nation, the evil powers have laid hand on them up to 70% of all the progress in the nation.
Be better one man's parties, roads, electricity, schools. Now was inside so.
As he has mentioned, all the things that are in the nation, mentioning them to be our factories, our roads, our education, our electricity firms, all of these projects or the things in the nation, the evil powers have laid hand on them and are causing deficit to them into 70%.
Young should say, yeah, all home and school rather, equal school beer, broken back. That is sure what equal school beer. Or one can put to me with me. What is the pillar you wait me to me?
Mention that it is not to say that our education system is only to educate literate people, but it's supposed to have been that if you have completed our formal education, you should be able to establish firm on your own.
Yeah, what in your man? I don't. What the beer? You would to every point. Now, Africa will look cry. Baby, I walk kind of come with your 50. America 90. Asia 90. Concert over now, we know with the 1990. On my Ghana with the 30. Better than what we
Mention that there is a heavenly thing or heavenly embodiment that helps humanity to attain such knowledge, and that knowledge, Ɔkrɔnkrɔnyi Nyame Somafo has said, when we come onto the Africa continent, the area that have received a lot are based on about 50, as he has mentioned. He said when we go to the other continents, say America, Europe, Asia, he mentioned that they are based on 90. But yet when we come to Ghana, that insight which will get us to understand and establish things on our own is around 30, and so we cannot do anything.
The American diagram, motor my make answer. I there. Got school I'm making a good drill. School, walk school again, what my motto, what my plan, what my of your school or Canada.
Mention that all that he's saying are things that he will be able to fulfill them, and that is the reason he's mentioning them to us. That there will come a time that we ourselves will testify to it, that when people get to complete this formal system of education, they will be able to manufacture, say, motor bicycles, say, fans, and other appliances that we buy.
Dr. Bayer Bede Bookin. Name you also want to buy, and so I'll be a catcher and people. I want to make him. If you inquire in fear, a boy, a son, I'm there, or some of them call him Maho, or him out more since I was brought up a catcher. I've done no origin or him out of a mere hotel. Then at the chin, a sample view. That's what I'm sure. If you never quit, you would have moved you now. 1 year, the whole central region, Roman hospital, we 95%. Hospital in Bungwood, one with the kind to the best. Not a major kind.
He said he's citing an example for us on things that he can do, and that some time back he visited Asim Fusu, where he organized the power prayer, and whilst administering the power prayer, the power then surfaced itself and mentioned to him that he is the power that is dwelling at where the Asim Fusu Roman hospital has been built. But yet, after building the hospital, the people who came to build never tend to her or him again, that evil power or that power. And so the power then told him that many people who are dying there at that time, he mentioned that anyone who is sick, even a headache, a slight headache, when you are taken there, you will not return home. And so the power then told him that those who are dying there, it is not him or her who is killing them, but rather they have evil powers that are following such individuals from their various homes are those that are killing them. And that if him or her, that power is there, the people who are brought there, the patients who are brought there will not die. And so what the power demanded, he, Ɔkrɔnkrɔnyi Nyame Somafo, went to the linguist there. The linguist took him to the Queen Mother, and then the Queen Mother provided what the power is demanding. And then the next day during the power prayer, the power then came again, and then he gave whatever the power demanded to the power. Said that year, the Asim Fusu Roman Hospital was ranked the first hospital who do not receive a lot of death rate in the hospital.
I am not smart regiment. I just hope to be an regiment. Mamma, I shall suffer the bone, won't me yet. I know regiment. It's been on your regiment. I am not so saying or baby, Yassi. What's the baby? Like a baby. You should be a baby. When she mamma, missions for baby. Or you won't regiment. And to some returns in the sea, I will be return as the same. Yan and something. As more papa or one message.
Ɔkrɔnkrɔnyi Nyame Somafo mentioned that what he's mentioning to us, he said, it is the work of the messengers of the Most High God, and it is not for the pastors. And that our pastors do claim these works for themselves, but it is not their work. They cannot do it. It is only the messengers of God who comes onto the earth to do that. He mentioned that Moses, in the likes of Moses, came onto the earth to fulfill some of this. In the like of Elijah, in the like of Yeshua, whom we call Jesus the Christ, and then Prophet Muhammad, may the blessing and peace be upon him, that all of them are messengers of God who came to fulfill all that he's mentioning to us. So as he's speaking now, we may be listening and we feel like we are hearing some tales or folk tales in our ears. But he said, no, these are the real thing. It is reality that he is releasing to us.
If you want to call commander should go back now. Why I know you? O ma tena wo kakra mepi ho baye edum papa nti bra me ho mbom mpo na party no se boko ho azono mo wo yo yeyem imo ko be yi nti mo ko twe ahemfo awo ka eyiye ina bom mo wo nya lattes ye ina ebe hye mo commander o ma him ona nkasa na ye hye ma ye hye dan after 2 days, my time now soon. I catch him with the Montana. No children walk home, I was a pain also you want to all Yambra. Now, I'm carrying on question. Here, I know a mummy I have. What's the argument in Sana? I'm Debbie. I'm arguments here by you. As to cast out every spirit is dangerous. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm married, my or your WhatsApp. Attempt to ma, no more child, a son, now, but to this old water then. I share 100 minutes to home. I'm there. I'm was some there. moto asusun bɔ no ɔkɛ moto asusun papa na mo ka kyerɛ hwɛ mo hwɛ dɛ wotum ayɛ party na obra member ha na me yam no so me ka kyerɛ ɔhena na matam na ɔyɛ ma be jama me ya na be do also I'm across the bobe na me de no so ne boye do mfa hwɛ na ne yɛ na yɛ hwɛ oyɛ fido to be be sin there president.
Continue and mention that later from Asimfosu, he then traveled to Commander, of which he visited the Commander and its environs, inviting all the chiefs around to help them make good use of the Commander Sugar Factory because he have seen some evil powers troubling the factory. So when he got there, he said he invited all the chiefs around with a letter he issued to them. But later, the paramount chief of Commander then said that he would not allow that to happen because as he has mentioned, he said the paramount chief then said that to cast out evil spirit is a dangerous act and that he would like to go on agreement with him that he is having some evil powers, he should not cast them. Of which he said, no, he is a messenger of God. And so he is in to cast out all evil powers and that the good ones are not going to be cast except the bad ones. The man never agreed. The chief never agreed. And so he told him that he should look at it and see if the factory would be operational. He said, with this, the factory up to today is not operationalized. He said that we could go and say that we have opened the factory, but yet to get it operational is what is happening, is what is needed. And that is what we are in now, that the factory cannot be operational.
Something now, Pokwe, a bad in see. Not a mechanic. As a Miss Awine. Then, Namon Quay, you beat up baby, no Quay, make a battery, make a and then shall for.
So that to sum up all that is given to us, we would ask that why is he saying that our factories that have been opened is not operational or we cannot put them into proper use and this and that are not going on well in the nation? He said with all this, there is an explanation to them and that is what is coming to give to us.
Abrapo, I'll or man, I am British. And I'm once again to them. Won't say, Papa. American body me be so bad, able to open us on Abrapo, I want to should run passing before. And we have a catch that man yet, not catch a poor yard. But I want 2 miles with the bed door, married with them. I don't want more man item. Black armor for your wasn't watching cat I don't. Or a pen a cat and what is the problem? Then we soon, 7 on 1 county. And the 2 miles broke on what the number now. What a bit of married on the way you or may I tell the Jackana, I ain't a young. Now, I think it was Jackana. There was son, there were doom, it was scare, there were a year, there were 1.2, there were Kumizi in our way. Was it 70%, 70%, 70% of the way. I shall see more bread to say, I mean, what I see. Get the Mandamina Abba, a man. Abba, people will be Pia. It's not so much.
Mention again to us that the whites who colonized our nation, Ghana, as he has mentioned, he said they have colonized us both physically and spiritually. He said the whites, they do spiritual work than we, the Africans. They do the proper spiritual work, but they come to us and tell us that it is not good to practice evil power or do any spiritual work of voodoo. He said that they do it more. And so these powers that help them to be able to colonize us, a disease that they use to suppress us. He said the independence was gained through our former leader, Sajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, but that independence that they gave to us was just the paper and pen independence. The spiritual independence was not given to us. He mentioned that what was left for the people of Ghana is the fame and marriage, and that many of the things that are supposed to help the nation have been taken away. He mentioned that our finances have been taken away, our grace has been taken away. He mentioned a lot of things that have been taken out of the nation, and these spiritually have been buried in the British land in one of their water bodies. Ɔkrɔnkrɔnyi Nyame Somafo said, for the nation to take it clothing and put them on, he said, unless all these things return back into the nation, and when that happens, we'll realize that whatever we do will flourish in the nation.
And see, I'm there. Some more crazy. So I'm man what you to man. Oh, who that American August. That year should be home. I'm a career. Me make sure that accident no your arm Robert Boko. My kind of principal I watch check accident if you June, April, Budu, August. Number that was the number by on them 7,000 out there. No one shall August to December. Shall to go to Ghana.
That's when we will end the conversation. But yet, and last festival organized said he mentioned to us that these are what he will do to help the nation. That the road accident that we are recording in the nation, he said those officers in charge of recording the road accident, he then said that he will make sure road accident subsides or it reduce, and then the road troubles that we have in the hands of the armed robbers, that will also reduce. And so he then gave these words that those in charge of our roads who are recording the road accidents should take note of the accident that occur from January up to the August where the festival is being organized, as he has spoken, and from August that he has spoken up to December, they should compare these two, and then at the end of it all, they themselves will testify what he is saying.
Oh, yeah, Cassa, I'm not sure about them. What's or cancer now, and say, Echo Crowd, what I can pretend. Also, small smap on the back. No one knows what you need, man. So, smell the castle, no, I put on wire there. But I had man. And so I know you cry. What better, make it better. Cassa.
Mentioned to us that it is just the voice or the words that he ought to utter. And that is how the Most High God have made it, that all the messengers who come onto the earth, they utter the words, and then the Most High God dwell on those words to fulfill their wish on earth. And so all that he needs or he wants to do on earth, it is for him to utter the word, and then the Most High God will dwell on that to do whatever he has asked him. So this is how far he will take us. Thank you.
I've heard, I'm sure it's a summary of what he has to tell us, but he's taking the situation into consideration. Any of us who want to say something, or I allow director to thank him on our behalf. I'll be having private meeting with him, and then we can call it a day. Yes, so director, I have their permission to allow you to thank him and his delegation on our behalf before they give the donation. The message you are doing, we have to thank you for that.
All right, thank you very much, the Right Honorable Speaker. And let me say the parliamentary service. We want to say thank you very much for not withholding the information God gave you, like how he did in the days in the Bible where God sent his apostles to deliver the messages to us. And so we are seeing it right now, and we are witnesses to them. Thank you very much for not withholding them. We would also continue to pray about them, that the good things the Lord has for us definitely will also be part of it and witness it. And so, once again, let me say thank you very much for coming, traveling all the way from the central region to deliver this very important message is an indication that you have a nation at heart. And so let me say that thank you very much. Take the donation from you, and respectfully, I would kindly ask Ɔkrɔnkrɔnyi Nyame Somafo himself to kindly do us the honor. Yes. All right, okay. Okay, thank you very much.